The California Democratic Party recently took the first step in promoting Medicare for all. Now, Common Dreams has reported that in a unanimous vote by its executive board, the California Democratic Party has endorsed SB 562. That is the Healthy California Act, which basically is Medicare for all. That is a single-payer healthcare system. It would guarantee health coverage to all Californians and eliminate premiums, deductibles, and other out-of-pocket healthcare costs. Now, the vote Sunday by the CDP's executive board followed a recommendation by the CDP Legislative Committee on Saturday, which also voted to unanimously endorse SB 562. That board, of course, includes some 320 members, including both Democratic Party elected officials and appointed CDP representatives. Now, this is a great step. And look, let's be honest. California wouldn't be at this point without the nurses. So huge shout out to the nurses. Now, I'm going to give you a quote here from a man named David Welch. Now, he's an RN, and he's also a member of both the CDP Executive Board and the Board of Directors of the California Nurses Association, who is the lead sponsor of SB 562. Now, he said, "This represents the leadership of the Democratic Party, recognizing that the activists are not going to stop working to enact this bill, and that is going to have to be addressed. That's awesome." Now, he also said the activists who do the day-to-day work of the Democratic Party feel very strongly about this issue. There is enormous support among them for single-payer healthcare reform, and that is the only way to solve the ongoing healthcare emergency for so many people in this country, including in California. So the nurses groups, all the different nurses groups who have been doing great work, pushing especially in California for them to adopt a single-payer bill. Now, one of the groups is led by Roseanne DeMauro, and she is absolutely amazing. They've been doing so much work on the ground. They've been getting people fired up, and they've been getting people out to support Medicare for all. Now, if you can remember, we've talked about the California bill before, how it was basically killed by Assembly Speaker Anthony Rendon. Now, he blocked it after the Senate had passed this bill as well. They have a plan to go after Rendon. They have a plan to try to flip him so that he would actually support this issue. CNN members, along with activists across the state, including some who serve on the CDP leadership bodies, had opposed Rendon's decision to halt the public legislative process and have been actively campaigning to demand action on the bill before the end of the current legislative year. In fact, while the legislature was on its summer break, activists paid visits to a number of assembly members in their district offices, asking them to support the bill. That includes Speaker Rendon's Los Angeles area district. Now, over the past 2 weekends as well, more pressure from CNA, Our Revolution, the Healthy California Campaign's Knock Every Door campaign, began canvassing in assembly districts around the state in order to try to flip some of the politicians to support Medicare for all. So, look, this has not only some major people power behind it, it's also got a lot of major groups. I mean, you've got Our Revolution, you've got the Nurses United, you've got these different campaigns that are going out, they're doing the legwork, they're on the ground, and they're pushing for Medicare for all. This is great work. California, it looks like they're getting ready for Medicare for all after all. I mean, you've got the nurses, you've got the activists, you got all the people who are out here fighting for us. They're starting to gain some ground, and of course, they're on the right side, and that helps. I believe that Medicare for all is inevitable. Even Charles Krauthammer, and he looks at this as a negative, right? He's on Fox News, super conservative guy. He's like, yeah, we're going to get a single-payer healthcare system. And that's like the worst thing ever. But if we keep doing what we're doing with the ACA, with the AHCA, which is dead now, but back when he was talking about this, that's when they were trying to push it through Congress. He's like, yeah, look, we're going to get Medicare for all. And that's going to suck for us conservatives, and it's going to suck for healthcare companies. It's actually going to be great for the people. And look, we're moving towards that. Slowly, yes, but we are moving towards it. And this will happen. This is inevitable. And it's a good chance that this is going to start in California. They are going to lead the way. And look, Medicare for all, looking at it nationally, on the national level, we're seeing a lot of Democrats that are starting to flip with this issue. You got John Conyers, for example, releasing his Medicare for all bill as HB, like, I forget the name, the number for it, 676. He started with 70 co-sponsors. He's got over 120 now in the House. And that wouldn't be possible without this pressure, without this renewed push, even from people like especially from people like Bernie Sanders. Now, there's one thing that I disagree with Bernie Sanders on recently, and Kyle Kulinski from Secular Talk talked about this, where Bernie's like, oh, it's not actually a litmus test issue. We don't have a litmus test on, Medicare for all. Well, actually, I believe we should. There should be a litmus test on this. So I disagree with Senator Sanders on that, but I think he's also trying to push for change, push politicians in this direction from within. And I guess maybe he's trying to do it that way and not scare them off. Who knows, right? But anyway, the job forward now, and to give so much credit to the people who are pushing this, you guys who are activists and the nurses, the nurses unions, and of course, Our Revolution and all these different groups, Justice Democrats, that are pushing for politicians that support this and pushing to support this in general, all the credit for you. And the job, though, going forward is to keep pushing them, to keep up this pressure, to keep up this momentum, to change. And if you run into a politician that doesn't change, well, you change the politician. You replace him. Support Medicare for all or get out of the way. That's why I think this should be a good litmus test for Democrats. But anyway, lots of credit to the California Democratic Party executive board for doing the right thing and for finally endorsing single payer. You're doing the right thing, and you should get all the credit in the world for that. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.